Alright, what's up guys? Week 2 of the OFC. Hoping to actually get a dub this time. Still looking for a win in any league. This week we're going up against, what is their name? It's right on the screen. The Fudakuchi Mawile. They got the Mega Mawile, as well as the Landers, Victini, Galarian, Darmanitan, Savali, Mag. Yeah, you can read it, whatever. Yeah, the first 4 mons are like the most devastating. Pretty crazy that you can get all those, but yeah. Anyway, other than that, like he's got a little bit of type redundancy. You know, he's got 2 psychic types. He's got um, 2 flying types. He's got 2 steel types, 2 water types. So you know, I wouldn't say it's the best draft, but I mean, I think he swept with Flanders week 1, so we definitely have to watch out for that. But let's just go into my team. I made a 1 team originally, but then I kind of tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit better, a little bit more suitable for this week. So I got the Life Orb Adamant Coda. This will outspeed a max speed Gengar. So basically anything on this team that's not Scarfed, I can outspeed with this Zero Aura. So we got Plasma Fist, Volt Switch, Knockoff, Close Combat. I originally had like a Calm Mind set with like Adrenaline Orb. So like if he goes for Intimidate with his Landers or his Mawile before his Mega Vault, I can get a speed boost, and then I can just Calm Mind and do some good stuff with that. But Life Orb just works so much better. Life Orb physical attacking, Plasma Fist really just runs his team. Other than Landers, if I get Landers low enough, I can just knock off it, and then he's got no switches for this thing. So unless he's bringing like Silvally Grass, I guess could be a thing. But next up we have Mega Venusaur, physically defensive. I have enough speed in this thing to make sure that I outspeed a max speed Victini after 1 V-Create. So if he goes for V-Create, gets a speed, his speed drops, and then with this amount of speed, I will be able to outspeed the Victini. Go for Earthquake. Earthquake without investment for him, and he's got like -1 defense from V-Create, does like so much. It's like 70% to him. So that'll be good. And then, I mean, Venusaur is good against a lot of his team. You know, Landorus can probably deal with Magnezone pretty well, can deal with a lot of different Silvallis. Galarian Darmanitan doesn't do much against me once I Mega Ball because I got Thick Fat. Mega Mawile it can deal with pretty well. Gengar probably can beat this thing, but I do have knockoff, so I can take 1 hit and kill it. Victini is the one thing we gotta watch out for. Maybe Hypno, but yeah, very good in this week. I think this thing has a pretty good matchup. Next up, we got Choice Scarfed Adamant Zygarde. This is one I actually had banded at first, but then I changed it to Scarf just so that I can outspeed his entire team, guaranteed. Unless he gets like a Rock Polish off with Landers or something like that. Also, Sucker Punch Mega Mawile. But we will outspeed a max speed Timid or Jolly Scarf Victini with this by 1 point, so that's good. And 1,000 Arrows really goes to town on his team. As long as he's not like physically defensive Mantine, which I don't think he will be because he needs Mantine to be especially bulky for like Manaphy and like Typhlosion. But if he does run physical defense, that's fine. But if he's not, then I can 2KO with 1,000 Arrows. Only thing I don't do too much to is like a really bulky Landers. But other than that, we can do a lot of damage with this thing. With this Zygarde 10%. Basically, I'll just be clicking 1,000 Arrows every time. I mean, maybe if I need to E-Speed. If I get like knocked off or something. Or if he has like Rock Polish, Lando, like I said, and it's in range for E-Speed, I can do that. But and maybe Outrage if I need to. But yeah, it's mostly going to be just 1,000 Arrows. Next up, we got Bugged Out. Physically defensive Fortress. I have the boots there so that if I switch into rocks, I can keep my sturdy intact, which is really important. That's not what I'm supposed to be looking at. Yeah, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rocks, Gyro Ball, and Volt Switch. The idea is to be able to switch into Landers with the Fortress and deal with that. I can't get trapped in with Magnezone, so that's something to think about. Yeah, basically I want to be able to keep hazards off my side of the field. Hopefully get rocks on his side of the field. I originally had Explosion and I changed it. This was actually a Licky Licky, but I changed it to Fortress. It was especially bulky Licky Licky. but it can't even take a lot of focus blast from Gengar anyway. So I just switched it out because Gengar was the main threat that I wanted to try to deal with something. So yeah, pretty standard set here. Volt Switch, if I know he's gonna switch, I can get some slow Volt Switch initiative. Next up, we got Mint Speed Manabuzz. Mint Speed is for, before I forget, it's to make sure we can switch into Mantine, and then we can go for a slow U-turn. So if he goes for like a Scald and he burns me, or even if he doesn't, if he goes for a Toxic, I can go for the U-turn. Then I can get in Zero Aura free without having to take a potential Scald burn or a Toxic or something like that, you know. So that's why that's Mint Speed. Because otherwise I actually outspeed Mantine, which is not what I want to do. So full split F lets me take like a timid Life Orb Gengar hit, even modest. I mean, with the I actually meant to change this to boot. I think I did change it to boots. I don't know why it's no, it's okay. It was leftovers, but I meant it to be boots. So yeah. I already had a battle, by the way, so that's what I'm saying. I meant to make it boost, but it wasn't. Didn't end up really mattering though. But yeah, Roost 2-turn knockoff Toxic, pretty obvious why I mean, I don't really need Foul Play. I feel like knockoff does that job. The only reason I ran Foul Play last week was because of Mega Swampert. I can't knock off Mega Swampert, so that was good. And Foul Play's good here, but I think knockoff's also really important because he can run Scarf on so many things. He can run Scarf on Lando, Victini, Galarian, Darmanitan, even Magnezone, right? Gengar, Basculin, I don't know. That's probably that thing probably be banded, but yeah, I think knockoff is an incredibly important move in general this week, which is why it's on 3 of my mons. So yeah, we got basically another slow initiative taker. Last but not least, we got Typhlosion, Choice Scarf. So we got 2 Scarf mons. This will outspeed. Well, this speed ties the fastest Victini you can find, so that's gonna be good. Eruption hits all of his team except for like Mantine, and Victini. That's why we have Thunder Punch, and Earthquake. Thunder Punch does a good amount to Mantine. Like I was kind of surprised about how much it did. Like even if he's physically defensive, we can, in a lot of cases, we can actually just 2 KO it. Earthquake does a little bit more to Victini than Eruption. Not that much more, but a little bit more. So it's worth it if I predict if I know he has to switch to Victini. But most of the time, kind of like Zygarde, most of the time we're just gonna be clicking Eruption. And if we take a little bit of damage, maybe a Sucker Punch from Mega Mawile, or maybe we come into rocks a few times, we can just Fire Blast. That's fine too. I probably should be running Flamethrower, but I have Fire Blast there, so that's the team. I was pretty confident with this team. I felt like it dealt with a lot of things, and I think the offense that I have, you know, the Zero Aura, the Zygarde, and Typhlosion are really good against this team. I think they exploit the weaknesses pretty well, but yeah, because this team is pretty offensive. A lot of his mons, like, he doesn't have anything that's like necessarily frail, but a lot of his mons he's not going to be running a lot of bulk on. A lot of things don't have reliable recovery, so that's really why. The only thing with reliable recovery would be like Wish Hypno, Synthesis Torterra, and like Roost Mantine, and everything else can just get chipped down, especially with rocks that are really gonna help me. So hopefully I can keep Ross up on the field. So anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll cut to the battle. So yeah, see you then. All right, here we are with week number 2 of the OFC. Looking at team preview, I see Hypno, Galarian, Darmanitan, Victini, Magnezone, Landorus, and Mega Mawile. So no Gengar and no Mantine, which is great. Manabuzz is kind of useless since he didn't bring Gengar. But it could be good against the Hypno. I don't really know what the Hypno wants to do. I didn't prep for it much. But yeah, we're gonna lead with Fortress. If he wants to predict that, that's fine. So here we go. I lead Fortress as he meets the Landorus, which is exactly what I wanted. So I go for the Stealth Rocks. We just trade rocks here. As now he goes for the Magnezone play to lock me in, knowing that I'm going to Rapid Spin there. You know, if I had Volt Switch would have been a decent play, but I honestly think getting rid of the rocks there was great. Even though I take this damage, I can Volt Switch out, so I can preserve my Fortress a little bit better there, and Typhlosion can come in here and just click Eruption. He doesn't have Mantine, so I do so much with this uh, with this thing. No boots either, so this Victini is already really weak. Mandibuzz comes in as he goes for Bolt Strike and does a really good amount. Like that's a lot of damage. And I think if he's Scarfed, he might switch, predicting my Zero Ore to switch in. So he does actually switch. As I go for knockoff, I knock off his Scarf, which is awesome. As I am now going to be able to skillfully dodge that Stone Edge. Now, I don't think that mattered too much. It might actually helped him in the long run. You'll see why. But I go into Fiesta here and I just click Eruption, which is great. Now he's gonna go into Victini, and I'm just gonna switch into Mandibuzz. If he wants to kill me, that's fine. I was honestly just expecting a Bolt Strike here. He actually clicks Zen Headbutt, I guess predicting me to predict the Bolt Strike or something like that. I don't know. Now I could outspeed him if he was Adamant Scarf, but I didn't. So I go for U-turn here. So I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed because he wouldn't just switch out there. And now I'm in a great position. I can go to Z to 10, kill basically something with 1,000 arrows. He now brings in Hypno. I don't know what this thing wants to do, but I don't want my Zygarde to get set up on or take any unnecessary damage. He goes for Belly Drum. He's not in Salic range, which is good. Now, if I didn't have Mandibuzz here, I probably just would have stayed in with Zygarde and then 2KO'd him. But since I brought in Mandibuzz, he can just get a Belly Drum off into Mega Mawile. And I don't have Foul Play, I just have Knock Off, so I was thinking he'd stay in for whatever reason, but you know, that didn't happen. So Mega Mawile was just gonna win. No reason to keep watching this. I don't want to relive this. He's just gonna Sucker Punch, sub up. I don't know, do shit. So yeah, check out my website description below. I have. I'll just keep losing. I haven't had my week 4 battle though in the IPA, but that week, that league isn't as active. I don't think in this one. Might be because this one's a little bit shorter into the season, but I don't know. Just playing poorly. I mean, with that situation, I should have stayed in. I just didn't know what Hypno wanted to do. I didn't want it to be like physically defensive and then like set up on me with like Calm Mind. But even then, I'm fine. I should have just stayed in. I was doing so well in that battle too. I was doing really well. But realistically, he could have brought it in on Venusaur. At any time I brought in Venusaur, he could have brought it in, and then gotten it off on the Mawile. Mawile definitely takes any hit from Venusaur, so even an Earthquake, like, yeah, it's just bad. So another bad week. I'm still losing, so whatever. I don't know why I'm still recording. So.